ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We were continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter number 8, text 1. Sutta uvacha atha te samaprattanam swanam udakam ichchatam datum sakrishna gangayam purushakritya yayuhu sriyaha. Sutta Goswami said, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had desired it, went to the Ganges with Draupadi. The ladies walked in front. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. This chapter, number 8 of Canto 1, is entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit Saved. So when we'll hear the prayers of Queen Kunti in this chapter, we will understand how, even though going through so much suffering, she felt gratitude, a lot of gratitude towards Krishna. We will see how she wanted to become detached from material illusion. And she praises Krishna and is grateful that he showered so much special mercy on her and her children, the 5 Pandavas. In fact, from her prayers, we'll also see her personal relationship with Krishna, how she recognizes that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And she also realizes that suffering can actually be spiritually beneficial. Many times when we suffer or go through miseries, we do not see the positive side of it. But here, Queen Kunti's prayers show us that even suffering can be spiritually beneficial. And of course, we also will see devotion is superior to any material success anyone may have. Now, Queen Kunti was a pure devotee, and even her devotional mood was pure. You see, she was handling all kinds of adversities with full faith in Krishna. Many times, when there is a problem, immediately the faith is shaken, and people start wondering, I don't know if there is God. If he's there, why isn't he helping me? Why is he making me suffer so much? But her faith was very firm. So this chapter is all about teaching us heartfelt prayers of Kunti, not just praying because she had to, but they were all heartfelt. And these prayers were spoken by, she prayed after the Mahabharata war, you see. And from her prayers, we will see a lot of philosophy. So they were, you can say, philosophical, devotional prayers, while at the same time recognizing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, this verse that I read just now, the verse number 1, it indicates that after the sons of Pandavas were killed by Ashwathama, so Pandavas, Draupadi, and Krishna, they all went near the river Ganges, and they were just following the custom. Even today we see Hindus, they go to holy river, either Yamuna or Ganges, and they immerse the ashes of their relatives. So after death in the family, this is what Hindus generally do. In fact, I remember when my mother passed away, my sister and I three of us, we went to Vrindavan and to submerge the ashes of my mother in Yamuna. So here we see in this verse that Pandavas, Draupadi and Krishna, they all went to Ganges, and after bathing in Ganges water, you see, they performed the custom, whatever was necessary. It is mentioned in this chapter in the early verses. In fact, Srila Prabhupada says that the water of Ganges is so very powerful because it is mixed with the dust from the lotus feet of Krishna. See, that's how powerful it is. That's why we see thousands of people go to Haridwar or Rishikesh or different places where the river Ganges flows just to take a dip in that holy water because it's very, very powerful. So here we see the whole family was grieving, Yudhishthir, Pandavas, Kunti, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, they all were overwhelmed with grief. And at that time, Krishna was also present. Now we've heard, excuse me, that the Mahabharat war was basically fought to kill all the irreligious kings. And all irreligious kings, they died in that war. And after the war, Krishna, he caused 3 horse sacrifices to be conducted by Yudhishthir Maharaj because after the war, the Pandavas won and the eldest of the Pandavas was King Yudhishthir. So he was appointed as king. And so Lord Krishna helped him to conduct 3 horse sacrifices so that Yudhishthira becomes famous in all the directions. Now, after the sacrifice was over, Krishna started to, he prepared to leave Hastinapur, the place where he was with the Pandavas. And, everyone gathered there. They came to worship him. Even Vyasadeva came to worship Krishna. So when Krishna sat down on the chariot to leave, he saw that Uttara was coming, hurrying towards him. Who is Uttara? Uttara is the daughter-in-law of Arjuna. She had married Arjuna's son Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu had died in the Mahabharat war. And she was carrying a baby, and she was in fear, Krishna could see she was in fear and she was hurrying towards Krishna. And all the family members, everyone was present and they were all watching Uttara coming towards Krishna. You see, all the family members of Pandavas, they were all completely dependent on Krishna. They always sought protection from Krishna. So here, Uttara being a family member, she also came hurrying to get protection from Krishna. And their beautiful prayer by Uttara, she tells Krishna that you are the Lord of the universe, Jagannath. So you please protect me and save me from death. Why? Because a fiery iron arrow is coming towards me. She said to Krishna, let it burn me, but not the baby in my womb. You see, she was pregnant and in her womb was Parikshit Maharaj, who was, who still had not taken birth, but he was in the womb of Uttara. So she wanted her son to be protected, son who was inside in the womb still. So Sutta Goswami says that Krishna heard her and he understood. What was that fiery iron arrow that was shot by Ashwathama? He had thrown the Brahmastra to kill the last descendant of the Pandavas, that is Parikshit Maharaj. Krishna Sharnam had asked me this question about Ashwathama when he threw the first Brahmastra and he wanted to know the second one, that is this second Brahmastra that he sent. And the Pandavas could see the Brahmastra was coming and they took up their weapons to counteract that. You see, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada said that Brahmastra is finer than the nuclear weapons, and it's more effective than the atom bombs. And atom bombs, when throws an atom bomb, it goes anywhere, wherever it's thrown, it just destroys everything around it, whether people, houses, whatever it may be. But Brahmastra, it only goes towards its target. So when Ashwathama threw the Brahmastra with the Vedic mantras, he made the target womb of Uttara, where Parikshit Maharaj was inside, you see. See, Brahmastra, it's a product of subtle science. It's a product of finer sound, and mantra is recorded in the Vedas. So it's not just random. Have you ever heard that people, now that the war is going on, people, they just chant a mantra and throw an atom bomb? No, they have no idea about it. So Krishna saw that his pure devotee was in danger. So he took up his Sudarshan Chakra to protect Parikshit Maharaj. You see, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives us a guarantee, Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, that my devotee will never perish. And Parikshit Maharaj, pure devotee. Uttara, devotee of Krishna. So he wanted to protect his devotee, both Uttara as well as Parikshit Maharaj. And Krishna knew that Pandavas, the whole family, was completely dependent on him. So what did Krishna do? He covered Uttara's baby with his personal energy. And the only reason was he wanted to save Parikshit Maharaj. Even though Ashwathama's Brahmastra was irresistible to check or counteract, but it was neutralized by Krishna. How come? Because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can do that, right? And this is how Krishna saved the baby in the womb of Uttara, that is Parikshit Maharaj. So Pandavas, Kunti, Draupadi, they all address Krishna. You see, Kunti, this chapter is about the prayers of Queen Kunti. It is said in the Bhagavatam that Kunti, mother of Pandavas, is considered to be very chaste, a very pure devotee of Krishna. And so when she started praying, that prayer was from her heart. And we should understand that her prayers are very, very important. They are actually a valuable lesson for us. We can learn a lot from her. So, in the very beginning, before starting her prayers, she's offering obeisances to Krishna. She's addressing him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And she says, Krishna, you are unaffected by qualities of this material world. You're unaffected by the modes, ignorance, passion, goodness. You're existing within and without at the same time. And yet you are invisible. So that means we need spiritual eyes to see Krishna. Even though Krishna may be present before us, but we won't be able to see because our eyes are covered up with Maya, illusion. They are still material eyes. We have not spiritualized our eyes, you see. But she saw Krishna right in front of her. She was saying, you are within, without, because when she saw Krishna right in front of her, she also noticed that Krishna protected Parikshit Maharaj in the womb, which means he went inside the womb to protect the baby from that Brahmastra. So here she's saying, you are within and you are without. And her thing is that Krishna, you are here in front of me, and yet you went inside the womb to save Parikshit Maharaj. And you're invisible because foolish people cannot understand. They cannot see him. They are less intelligent. Then she prays to Krishna, saying, you come down, you descend in this material world to teach us difference between body and soul. That's the basic lesson we get from the Bhagavad Gita, you see. And then her question to Krishna is, how can we women know you perfectly? What an important question. Now, someone may get offended, especially women may get offended, saying, "Oh, why is she talking about women? We are intelligent, right?" So she wants to know, how can we women know you perfectly? Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely in the purport. He says, women in general, they cannot speculate like philosophers. Oh, maybe God is like that. Oh, maybe. No. They are blessed by Krishna. The women, they quickly believe in Supreme Lord and they offer obeisances. In fact, we see whenever there is a spiritual gathering, there are more women than men because women are more interested in spirituality. So here is a big question by Queen Kunti. You see, she's offering obeisances to Krishna and saying, "You're the son of Vasudev. You are the one who gives pleasure to your mother Devaki. You are the enlivener of the cows." Krishna is very fond of cows. Now comes a beautiful verse. If we can memorize this, it's in 8th chapter. Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya, Namaha Pankaja Maline, Namaha Pankaj Netraya, Namaste Pankajagrahe. What does that mean? She's praising Krishna by saying, "Your abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower. You're always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers. Your glance is as cool as a lotus flower, and your feet are engraved with lotus flowers." You see, when we look at our feet, at the sole of our feet, do we find any markings there? None at all. We may just find dirt or dust or whatever, depending on where we walked. But Krishna's lotus feet, they have specific symbolic marks. You see? Specific marks are there. And this is the difference between body of a material person like us and the Supreme Lord himself. So she praises Krishna, remembering the pastimes of Krishna, how he released his mother from the clutches of Kamsa, from the jail, and how he protected her own sons from constant dangers. And then addressing him as Rishikesha. Who is Rishikesha? Master of the senses. Krishna is the master of the senses. So she's showing gratitude towards Krishna through her prayers. This is very important. Attitude of gratitude goes a very long way. So every day it's important that we are grateful to the Lord for everything that He has given us. Right? So she is remembering how Krishna protected them in different situations, like the Kauravas, especially Duryodhana. He had poisoned the cake, like a happy birthday cake. The cake was poisoned. Krishna protected. Even though Bhima ate that poisoned cake, he was still saved by Krishna. She said, "You saved us from great fire, from cannibals, from the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. You helped us during our sufferings in exile that we were there in the forest. Even when Draupadi was dragged into the assembly, insulted, they tried to strip her naked, but you were there to save Draupadi." You see? So she's listing all the dangerous encounters and how Krishna protected. So it's important that we meditate on this, and instead of crying about the sufferings that we are going through, instead be grateful that, okay, I had this suffering and here the Lord protected me because we are still alive, right? That means we are protected. So Kunti, she is actually wishing, she's telling Krishna, "Please give me more miseries. Please let these calamities come upon me again and again and again." Would we ever wish for calamities again and again? I don't think so, right? Now the question is, why is she wanting or wishing for more calamities? It's because she says to Krishna, "When there are calamities, we get to see you." because you come to save us so we can see you. So just because you are present in front of us, I wish that more and more calamities come. So seeing Krishna again and again means no more repeated birth and death, which means breaking the cycle of birth and death and going back to the spiritual world. So she wants to see Krishna, and she feels if calamities are there, she will feel grateful, she will pray to Krishna, and she will see Krishna, and he will be there to protect her and her children. In the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, we learned Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino Arjuna. There are 4 kinds of pious people who surrender unto Krishna. You see, those who are distressed, like Queen Kunti was, those who want money, those who are inquisitive, and those who want knowledge. So she wants to remember Krishna constantly. That is the purpose of our being in this human form of body, to constantly remember Krishna. Satatam kirtayantu mam, always thinking of Krishna. And that's possible only when we do mantra meditation on a daily basis. And when we chant every day, then we are preparing ourselves to go back to the spiritual world after giving up this body. You see? So Queen Kunti, she's continuing her prayers and she tells Krishna, you can be approached very easily, but only by those who are materially exhausted, means finished, which means they have no more material desires. You see, those who are after wealth, beauty, opulence, etc., they cannot approach Krishna with sincerity. So, all material opulences that one may have, the problem is it makes one proud. One becomes puffed up and not understand that these opulences are all temporary. They are all temporary possessions. And these possessions are actually disqualifications. So those who want to progress spiritually, they need to be very conscious of the fact that they do not have material desires, because material desires will bind us in this material world. So here Queen Kunti is, praying so beautifully, such important prayer it is. Like, she's covering every aspect that is beneficial for us. How to be faithful, how to be completely dependent on Krishna, how to try hard to see Krishna and not get bewildered by all the calamities, you see. So she, in fact, remembering pastimes of Krishna, which of course we'll cover in 10th canto, she finds it bewildering because she says, Krishna, you are inconceivable. You're all powerful. Your actions are inconceivable. You see, I cannot understand. So, if Queen Kunti, a pure devotee, is not able to understand, how can we understand? By the mercy of Krishna. We can understand when we take knowledge from the Vedas, and we can understand when we put the knowledge into practice. So, theory and practical. Then, when we start worshipping Krishna with pure love, that is when we will understand him with pure devotion. So she's remembering a beautiful pastime of Krishna and Yashoda. Again, we will learn in detail about this in 10th canto, but here there's just a glimpse of how Krishna had stolen butter and Yashoda, his mother, had tied him up with a rope. And he was crying and his eyes were full of tears and fear also. He appeared to be afraid of his mother, right? But Queen Kunti is saying, but Krishna, you are yourself fear personified. So it's very bewildering for me that how come you are fearful of your own mother? So this sight was bewildering for Kunti. And Kunti said, you appear to kill so many, miscreants, and you came to protect the devotees. So it is her prayers, Queen Kunti's prayers, is not only touching the different pastimes of Krishna, just a few of them in this chapter, but also making us understand that these pastimes are like a windows to the spiritual world, right? Through which we can see the spiritual world. That is how it's been explained by Srila Prabhupada, you see. So she's pointing out that Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago when he heard the prayers of Lord Brahma. But she said others, they say that you appeared to revive devotional service by hearing and chanting and worshipping. You appeared to help conditioned souls like us who are suffering the material pangs in this material world. You see? So, yes, Krishna came for both, right? Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami. He comes for two reasons: to protect his devotees and to annihilate the miscreants or those who are irreligious people. You see, Krishna, he's given us Bhagavad Gita and now he's given us Srimad Bhagavatam also, so that we can get relief from the pangs of material world. And the first step is mantra meditation, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. This will help us to get purified, and then that will give us relief from miseries. So Queen Kunti, she's continuing her prayers, and she tells Krishna that those who continuously chants, the most important word is continuously chants and repeats your transcendental pastimes, they will certainly see your lotus feet, and they will certainly be able to break the cycle of birth and death. So you see, here's a formula. Queen Kunti is giving the formula to us how we can break this cycle and go back to the spiritual world. She says, continuously chanting and repeating Krishna's pastimes. So for us, we are very fortunate that we are reading and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of pastimes of Krishna. Right now, we are hearing the pastime of Queen Kunti, the Pandavas, and Krishna. You see? So, she's now, after praying, she has a very important question. Krishna, are you leaving us today? Because he sat in the chariot, he is about to leave, and she's asking, are you leaving us today? We are totally dependent on your mercy. There's no one else who can protect us. You see, Pandavas, my children, and myself, we are so fortunate that you have been in our lives for a long time. We are entirely dependent on you. You are a supreme father. We've learned this in Bhagavad Gita also, where Krishna says, Aham bija pradaha pita, I am the father of all living entities. So here, Queen Kunti, she's trying to persuade Krishna to stay with them a little longer. She doesn't want him to leave because he's already on the chariot about to leave. So, what does she do? She persuades him by using some analogies. She says, just like the body is finished when the soul leaves it. So, similarly, if you don't look upon us, our fame will end finished. Whatever fame, glory, opulence we have received, it will all come to an end. What does that mean? That means she's telling Krishna that our existence is because of you. Because you are there, we are famous. Because you are there, protecting us, guiding us, we are in this position. So one should not be proud of their fame or prestige or power or opulence, because it is all given by Krishna. It comes from Krishna, and it is for the satisfaction of Krishna himself. So she's praying to Krishna that our kingdom, everywhere that you walked, it has your footprints. And because of your footprints, our kingdom is so beautiful. But when you leave, our kingdom will no longer be beautiful. You see? So when she saw those impressions, the lotus footprints on the ground of the of the kingdom, she realized that kingdom is so beautiful. There's all this prosperity and everything that is there. It is all because of you, Krishna, because everything comes from you. So, what are those auspicious marks? When we read a lot about the footprints of Krishna, the lotus feet of Krishna, we will see there's a mark of flag, of thunderbolt, umbrella, lotus, disc, so many different auspicious marks are on Krishna's lotus feet. You see? And then she tells Krishna, everything comes from you, the grains, the vegetables, the fruits, the rivers, the hills, the minerals, the mountains, the seas which are full of pearls, everything, Krishna, they are all provided by you. So we are completely dependent on your mercy. You see? So here she's making a point telling Krishna that it's your mercy that is bringing the prosperity. So as human beings, it becomes our duty to be obedient to Krishna's laws. Whatever laws he has given us in the scriptures, you see, that is how we'll achieve perfection in devotional service. Now comes the most difficult part of her prayers, where she says to Krishna, she's praying to him and saying, you please cut the tie of affection that I have. Anybody would ask for that? Cut the tie of affection. She felt she was bound by the tie of family affection. She wanted to free herself from this bondage so that she can become fully dependent on Krishna. This is how we clear our path towards spiritual world. You see, what she's talking about is cutting off relation with family. She's talking about the skin and the body. She's not talking about the soul. The relationship of her and her children as the spirit soul remains, because that is the cause of freedom. But being attached to this bodily relationship is bondage. Then she gives another analogy. She says, just like the river Ganges flows to the sea without any diversion. See? No hindrance. Diversion, of course, is there, but no hindrance. Right? So she says, let my attraction be drawn to you without any diversion. That is perfection of devotional life. See? Because affection cannot be stopped, but it can be diverted. So if we are affectionate, let us be affectionate towards Krishna, because once Krishna is satisfied, our family will automatically be satisfied. You see? So it's just a question of the desire is changed in devotional service towards Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center of our lives. You see? So here she's praying, she wants to serve Krishna without any distraction, without any diversion, without, trying to put one foot here and one foot there also. No. Like, there's an analogy, putting one foot in one boat, another foot in another boat and trying to cross. What is going to happen? We will drown. So we cannot put our, feet here, there, everywhere. So she's continuing her prayers and she is accepting the fact that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She says, you are the Supreme Lord, you're the proprietor. You're the proprietor of the transcendental abode, which is the Vaikuntha. And you come down just to protect your devotees, just to protect the cows, just to protect the brahmanas. You see? So towards the end of the chapter, Sutta Goswami, he said that Krishna heard the prayers of Queen Kunti, glorifying him with very choice words. He smiled and he accepted her prayers. And he informed other ladies of his departure. But before leaving, he was stopped by Yudhishthir Maharaj. Now, when Queen Kunti asked Krishna to stop, not go, he did not listen. But when Yudhishthir Maharaj made a very simple request, please stay for a few more days, Krishna agreed. And that request was very effective. You see, that's the power of Yudhishthir's loving affection for Krishna. He could not deny his request. See, Krishna is conquered by loving devotional service. Now, one may say, but Queen Kunti also prayed so beautifully, with full heart. Her prayers were heartfelt. Then, how come he took the request of Yudhishthir Maharaj, found it more effective than Queen Kunti? Prabhupada gives a very nice explanation. He says because Yudhishthir Maharaj was mortified after the Mahabharat war because he thought it was because of him that 640 million people died in the war. It was because of him, because everyone wanted to place him as a king, of Hastinapur, and that is why the war took place and so many people. So he was blaming himself that just to put me on the throne, 640 million people lost their lives. So he was deluded. And guess what? He was deluded because Krishna wanted him to be in that delusion so that he could explain to us the process of Bhakti Yoga. Just like Arjuna, he was deluded before the Mahabharat war, right? He was confused, he was mortified, he didn't know what to do, what not to do, he was lamenting. Krishna put him in that situation so that Bhagavad Gita could be spoken for our benefit. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is telling Krishna, I am the most sinful. I am full of ignorance. Because of this body of mine, so many people were killed. And I will not be relieved from hell because of such sin that I have committed. Now Yudhishthira knew there is no sin when the king kills for the right cause, but he felt this injunction was not applicable to him. He caused the killing because of his personal gain of kingdom, so he felt responsible for killing of all these millions of people. He gives an analogy to Krishna. He says, just like it's not possible to filter muddy water through mud, just like it's not possible to purify a wine stained pot with wine. Similarly, he said, one cannot counteract killing of men by sacrificing animals. Now, in Vedic times, if we read Vedas, we will see in Vedic times, sacrificing animals was not for killing, but to give them a new life by chanting Vedic mantras. You see, new life was so when a pure Brahmana in those earlier ages would sacrifice an animal, he would chant mantras that were so powerful that he could deliver that animal into a human body. You see, but that's not possible now. Here, animal killing is being done just for taste. I was not reading, I heard a survey that 9 billion animals, 47 billion fishes, 8 billion chicken are killed every year only in America. Then imagine how many more billions are killed throughout the world every year. That's very sinful. Now one may say, but I don't kill. I just go to the store, I buy meat, and I cook and eat. I haven't killed. But guess what? According to Bhagavad Gita, anyone who kills the animal, sells the animal, buys the animal, cleans the animal, cooks the animal, serves the animal, eats the animal, they all get equal reaction, sinful reaction, equal sinful reaction. You see? So, here Yudhishthir Maharaj is concerned about the sin he has committed. And he's giving the analogy of, you cannot counteract, killing of men by sacrificing animals. He's giving that analogy. But in Kali Yuga, the sacrifice recommended is Just chanting. We don't need to kill animals and sacrifice. We don't need to do any other sacrifice like in the other yugas. All we need to do is chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That's about it. You see? So here in this chapter, we see Queen Kunti's, showing gratitude even though she's going through so much suffering. She's thanking Krishna for all the hardships she and her family endured because that suffering kept them constantly dependent on Krishna. And she prefers calamities to come again and again because that will bring remembrance of Krishna. And we also see how she wants to get detached from material illusion, and also because she understands, because when we have a lot of opulence, whether it is wealth, high birth, education, beauty, whatever it may be, it increases pride, and then pride makes it very difficult to approach Krishna. So true devotion comes only from humility. So if we really want to, progress spiritually, then we should meditate on these prayers of Queen Kunti. How she got special mercy from Krishna, how she and her children got protection from Krishna in extraordinary ways, you see. So, our personal relationship with Krishna can be built when we do mantra meditation on a daily basis, and also consider, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly so that we can improve our devotion to Krishna. We can also, you can say, sharpen our intelligence with this knowledge, understanding that Krishna is the origin of everything. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. So we see Queen Kunti, her pure devotional mood, and how she handled adversity with firm faith. So this is how this chapter ends. So if anyone has any questions or comments, you are